It's Monday, so you know that means it's time for Begnaud's America, where our David Begnaud finds the heart in every single story. Today, he takes us to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, after a letter from a very proud mom who wanted us to know about her son. His name is James. David, good morning to you. Let's hear about James.
Gayle, good morning. This came in as a Dear David submission, and you wouldn't believe how many emails pour in our Dear David inbox from parents bragging to me in some kind of way about their kids. I mean, that's what parents do, right? But this one had a spark that told us that James's story could inspire far beyond his community.
Dear David, James is doing extraordinary things in this world for people who have limb differences or disabilities.
Y'all meet Deidre Deculus Robert. Her son James was born with no fingers on his left hand. But what he built in spite of that is a story all its own.
At 2 years old, he had a toe-to-hand transfer in order to give him more flexibility and ability to use his left hand. That's a long story in and of itself, but the real story is that it didn't stop James, even when the attachment didn't work as we wanted.
With 5 fingers just on his right hand, James went on to play multiple sports throughout school. He played the trumpet and even became skilled at archery and marksmanship. What some saw as his limitation, James turned into a motivation.
This young man who struggled to find his identity has found it so purposefully and passionately in this world.
James worked multiple part-time jobs while in college, including at Make Good NOLA, the New Orleans organization that builds custom prosthetics for kids with limb differences. James graduated from LSU Baton Rouge in May and is about to start his master's degree in prosthetics and healthcare administration.
There he is. Hi, buddy.
We wanted to meet him. So before he graduated, we flew to Baton Rouge and met him at his lab at LSU, where I knew he'd be working.
What are y'all doing? What are you working on?
We told him we were there to profile the work of Make Good NOLA. But
I'm actually here to talk to you.
Really? Okay.
So read this for me.
This young man who is struggling to find his identity has found it so purposefully and passionately in the world, and he is using his struggle and his challenge and his opportunity to help others. I think you would find him just as special as we do.
We did not tell James who wrote us that letter, only that it moved us enough to want to meet him.
Seemed like you were getting emotional.
Yeah, a little bit.
What makes you emotional?
Whenever I'm forced to think about it, I try not to, but whenever I'm forced to think about it, it's beautiful.
What's beautiful?
Being here and doing the right thing at the right time, being in the right place.
James's journey was not always beautiful.
How difficult was childhood for you?
Putting a positive spin on it, it was hard. Not impossible, but very, 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 very hard. I had to take whatever anyone could throw at me and just keep kicking.
And what did they throw at you?
Name calling, insults, exclusion, but to a 5th or 6th degree.
With his family's support, James made it to the other side.
Because my grandfather, he told me once, people with small minds hate dreamers. They can't see the dream.
I love that. Yeah. Your grandfather said that.
He did. People with small minds hate dreamers.
What a wise man.
In James's world, dreams aren't measured by the limits. They're measured by the purpose. In addition to his college work, James became the chief print technologist at Make Good NOLA.
So essentially, you're creating things that would work for you.
Absolutely.
And applying it to everybody.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
See it come together before your eyes.
That's James's mentor, Noam Platt. He is the founder and head of the Make Good organization. James has co-created the first ever 3D printed wheelchair.
Hey everybody, it's Noam and James from Make Good, and we want to showcase our latest toddler mobility trainer.
And numerous other adaptive devices to help people with disabilities, all created using state-of-the-art 3D printing technology.
What's the benefit of having someone like James who has that lived experience that he brings to the workshop?
Oh my gosh.
it couldn't happen without James and people like James. We found with most of our staff who are disabled is that they are the best problem solvers, the smartest, hardest workers I've ever met.
And that's a common feeling with people who know James. Which takes us back to that letter.
Why don't you turn around and see who wrote it?
Hey. Hey.
And give this mom a moment. Just for him.
We're so proud of you. I love you.
I love you too. Makes sense.
Why
This is my mom. This is my mom. And she definitely believes in me and in what I do.
I want to say that I'm so proud of the man that you are, the man that you've become, and how you give of yourself so selflessly to others. It just speaks volumes about who you are, and you really are the change that we want to see in the world. You're our future. I'm so proud that you're part of it.
That's what y'all raised me to be.
Bravo,
beautiful.
David. Really nice.
You know, David,
Everybody deserves a mom like James has.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Go ahead, Tony.
number one, I love the way you told the story that he didn't know it was his mom until the very end, and that he was so candid about all that he's been through. Nate and I, we were all saying how cruel children can be.
Yeah.
And you think you don't realize the impact and effect you're having on
Until
other
you hear a
kids.
grown man talking
Till you
about
hear-
his lived experience.
Yes.
David, I hope that people
Yes.
watching now, families that are going through that kind of bullying, can
Exactly.
see in that story that it can get better.
And Tony, when that pain is turned into a purpose and a service to others, there is a washing away of that pain in a way that you see coming from James, who, by the way, is working on a fully 3D printed walking cane and a leash holder, a dog leash holder that can be used by people in wheelchairs. Go James.
Go James and go to his mother. Amazing
David.
woman. That's right. And David, well done again. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
We appreciate you. Time to celebrate. Today marks the 50th Begnaud's America here on CBS Mornings, where CBS News contributor David Begnaud finds the heart in every story. To celebrate, we want to take you back to where the series first started. A story about a 12-year-old businessman with some big, big dreams.
Before most kids were even thinking about a summer job, Quentin Hines Jr. from Charlotte, North Carolina, was running one. He was 10 then, now he's 12, and he is making moves, and not just with mowing lawns.
I started cutting yards probably when I was probably by myself when I was probably about 8 years old. But with my dad, it was probably around, ever since I could walk.
Really?
Yes.
How much do you love to cut grass?
And I really, really love it. I really love it.
What do you love about it?
It makes me feel less stressful. It will make me feel very, soothed.
I heard you have some dreams about working at the airport.
So ever since I was younger, I always wanted to get a contract with the Charlotte airport. And sometimes when I would go out there, they would have the mowers out there, so I would stick there for a while.
His passion was contagious. So we got to thinking, what could we do to help a kid like Quentin get just a little closer to his dream?
I got a surprise for you.
I hear that you like mowing.
Yes, I do.
Mind being part of our crew today?
Yes.
But Quentin's big day was just getting started.
I'm the director of sports fields and grounds here for the Carolina Panthers. We're happy to have you. You want to be part of the grounds crew today?
Yes.
Yeah?
The Panthers gave Quentin a job and a jersey and put him to work. And just when he thought the day couldn't get any better,
What'd you think?
Wow, man.
Mind blowing.
we checked back in with Quentin this month. And guess what? He was right where we left him. Like the weeds, business is booming for QJ's Professional Lawn Care. Quentin doubled his number of clients from last year, got some new equipment,
Is it another hedge trimmer?
and some new attention.
I was working on a yard down the street, and someone rolled past. They put their window down. They said, "Hey, I recognize him from the news." I feel like I kind of became a local celebrity.
And watching a story about yourself, well, Quentin says that felt surreal.
I was sitting with my friends, and I was watching it air. I did get a little teary-eyed seeing that I did all that in one day. I was like, I actually did all of this.
But the year wasn't just about success. Quentin lost his grandmother.
Look at QJ driving the lawnmower.
And his grandfather, the man who ignited his love for lawn mowing. His family found comfort and community in their church.
In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
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 And I bet you can guess what Quentin did next.
I never really cut the grass before, but I already felt welcome with coming into the church, and after I started mowing the grass, I felt like even more welcomed into the church.
He felt so welcome that the pastors asked Quentin to preach to the whole church.
What that shows us is that God sees our hearts, and he rewards humility.
And then Quentin took it a step further. He donated $1,000 from his own earnings to help the church pay off its mortgage. Did we mention he's only 12?
When you put things into the world, it always finds a way to come back to you.
These days, Quentin is mowing grass about 6 to 8 hours a week. And yes, his parents are still his only employees. Mom handles the business side.
You get those two done on Friday.
And Dad, well, Dad still drives Quentin to his clients, and he helps with the bigger jobs. But we had to ask, how's that working out still?
What's the biggest problem you have with your only employee?
Sometimes he takes a lot of breaks.
Turns out some things never change.
He's still taking a lot of breaks. So at first, when I would try and pay my dad, he would always say, "No, keep your money." Now, every time I pay him, he said, "Okay, thank you."
Now, between balancing homework, friends, and football tryouts, Quentin says his love for mowing is still what drives him.
Mostly feels like God really just opened a lot of opportunities for me. And he really just showed me that this is what he wants me to do on this earth. I love it, and I will never stop, never.
Oh, God. We fell in love with Quentin Hines Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Yay.
Fell in love with him because that was very funny. At first, Dad used to say, "Keep your money." Now Dad goes, "Thank you."
Thank you very much.
I see you, Mr. Hines. But David, I think what you do is so important because the news is so heavy. We all need a time to laugh and really reflect. Why do you think it's so important that these stories are so important right now? Maybe that is the answer.
Because it's the hope we all need to see. It's the hope I need to see, right? I'm doing what I want to see on television. And I want you guys to know that my inbox is full of stories from liberals and conservatives and people who are MAGA and from Spokane and Charlotte. It brings everybody to the table, the type of stories that we put on here every Monday morning, and it fills my cup.
So, David, our viewers want to know, how do you and your team discover these stories that you feature?
Because people are going, "Pick me, David, pick me. I got a story." Yeah.
Yeah. Well, here's what's interesting. I'd say about 75% of them come from viewers like you, people who write into Dear David at cbsnews.com. The Quentin Hines Jr. came from somebody who said, "Hey, David, I heard about, thought you should know," and that's how we go and tell. We want you to know that we're listening, and we want to amplify those stories. We are looking for the everyday exceptional hero. That's the bread and butter of what we do.
Love it. Love you, David. Thank you very much.
It's Monday, and that means it is time for Begnau's America, where CBS News contributor David Begnaud finds the heart in every story. This week, we are wrapping up Dear David Month. All of July has been dedicated to stories submitted to David by viewers just like you. Here's David.
Well, good morning. We are going to begin in Hornell, New York, where a local restaurant owner helped his dessert baker to chase a lifelong dream, even as the odds seem stacked against him. 28-year-old Chris Lomax begins his day like any other dessert chef. Puts on his gloves and gathers his ingredients. Only his are in Braille. Chris is legally blind and has been since 5 years old when he underwent surgery to remove a brain tumor.
When I woke up from the surgery, I opened my eyes and I said, "Mom, where are you?" And I was so in distress because my whole life, she was always the face that was comfort. And so the fact that I couldn't see her was, terrifying.
Though he is blind, his vision for his future has been clear, telling his first grade teacher that he would open up a bakery right here in Hornell, New York one day. But that light started to dim when people saw his disability before his talent.
There's laws protecting blind people from being discriminated, but there's not. Because people can easily say, you just don't fit the position, even though they mean, you're blind, you can't do this job.
Then Joe Hwang Recalto came along. His restaurant needed a baker, and Chris needed a chance.
We decided to give him the job, and Chris was overwhelmed. I said, look, we're in this together now. Whatever challenges you have in your life, let us know, because we'll try and plow through them and remove those obstacles. He was overwhelmed by that because no one ever did any favors for him.
Since Chris started, Joe says he can't keep the desserts on the shelf. He's been so successful that they've worked out a new business model, so Chris can get 100% of the profits, flipping him from an employee to a vendor with his own grab-and-go station under their roof.
It costs us literally nothing more to have Chris come in and use the infrastructure of the restaurant to start his own business. We're just giving him the foundation to do what he does best, and what he does best is baking.
You like chocolate, so this opportunity, being one step closer, is so exciting. The fact that I could own my own bakery one day is just exciting and just a blessing.
Oh, Chris, those desserts aren't the only thing bringing us joy. Your story is too. Wishing you all of our best. To Arizona now, Joanna wrote to me about a salty Scotsman who's become a pillar of the community in Flagstaff, Arizona, of all places. Y'all meet Jake Bacon.
So the locals may call him the salty Scotsman, but Jake Bacon is actually an Englishman, born in Singapore, and he saw more of the world during his childhood than most of us will in a lifetime.
By the time I was 11, my mom had emigrated from England to Australia and back twice.
But the place he's called home for more than 30 years is Arizona. There, he became a father and a grandfather and captured the life and soul of Flagstaff for the Arizona Daily Sun newspaper.
When you're a photojournalist at a community newspaper, 90% of the people that you see are really happy to see you. Even at times of triumph or sorrow, you form connections really quickly. And I see my career as a journalist as a way to serve my community, but then all my hobbies serve my community too.
Like using social media to track down telephone booths that you might expect to see in London and transforming them into literacy projects, planning a piece of himself right here in Flagstaff.
So the Tiny Library project started because I was missing home.
It took Jake 8 months to restore the booths that now sit right outside his home, complete with hundreds of donated books.
There are people there day and night. It's amazing. It brings out the best in people.
You know, for him, the camera may have just been the starting point, but the connection, the compassion, and the community he's felt here in Flagstaff, that seems to be the real picture that he's been developing all along.
Often we don't know what we're looking for until it finds us. And I was looking for a community to call home.
And we'll end in Memphis, Tennessee. Y'all come meet the Hickory Hill Sizzlers, would you?
This fiery number earned the Sizzlers third place at the Delta State Fair last September. And the spark behind them? Grandmothers Diane Huff and Roxy Jones.
I was hesitant on it, and she said, if you do the music, I'll do the teaching. So It was no question then.
They are the perfect pair. For them, the joy of entertaining crowds all over Memphis has given them a new purpose at 66 and 73 years old.
I'm just enjoying life. Whatever age you are, you can just come and have fun. Just enjoy life. That's the most important thing.
I want to thank all of you, our viewers, for helping us to make Dear David a success. We get hundreds of emails, and if you've got a story that you think we would want to tell, email us, would you? Dear David at cbsnews.com. I'll see you next Monday.
I love it. Incredible story. Shout out to Rachel Graves, who produced that first one. Well done.
About the blind baker.
Yeah, about the blind baker.
Yeah,
really
that was
remarkable.
really good.
I love the idea of the little libraries too.
Yeah.
Those were gorgeous.
And also what
And
he
the
said,
dancers.
he said, you never know what you're looking for until it finds you.
Yep.
It's so true.
I love how we highlight these stories that our viewers send us from people in their community just to share that hope and that inspiration with everyone. So good.
It's Monday, so people, you know what that means. It's time for Begnauds America. What's that? Where CBS News contributor David Begnaud finds a heart in every story. This week, we're continuing with our Dear David month. July is dedicated to stories submitted to David by viewers like yourself. Here is David.
Good morning. Our first story takes us to upstate New York, where one man's midlife crisis turned into something pretty extraordinary. Brian Flynn is one of few people you'll probably ever hear of who's given 2 organ donations, a medical marvel, you might say, and a deeply human one.
I had this sense that I wanted to do more.
When Brian Flynn was about to turn 50 and wondering what that more was, he came across a plea for help on social media.
One of the teachers at our kids' school had posted about her brother Greg and that he was in search of a potential donor.
24-year-old Greg Dentise was in desperate need of a kidney transplant after a kidney infection at age 11 turned into kidney disease. Now, the two had never met, but Brian immediately got tested and learned that he was a match. Brian and Greg met for the first time the morning of the surgery.
It was inspiring for me to walk in and see Greg, and you could tell that he was, struggling.
The surgery was a success, and the two kept in touch.
In my life, there's been nothing more meaningful and rewarding than to go through that because you're able to give of yourself to somebody else. So when I was texting with him, I said, hey, thank you so much. It was a great experience and so rewarding. And he said, if you liked it so much, I hear you can give away your liver. And I said, what? You can give, you only have one liver. How do you give away your liver? And I said, I gotta find out more about this.
What he learned was that he was a good candidate to donate a portion of his liver to someone in need. Enter Richie Ramirez, a 4-year-old boy in need of a liver transplant.
And I did have that moment of, what am I doing? I've already done this. This is crazy. And that moment passed because you get this sense of, I'm on a mission, I'm doing something that's really important.
The surgery, much riskier than a kidney transplant, worked. 4 years later, the bond that Brian has with his 2 organ recipients is strong. Richie is now 8 years old, a thriving 3rd grader. And Greg, he's married with a young daughter.
It means the world, I have a family of myself now and own a home, so I wouldn't be able to do a lot of those things without such a special gift.
Brian saved my life. I was pretty impressed that he did that for a stranger.
Now, for the record, Flynn has no plans to make any more organ donations, but he is working as an advocate to inspire others. And here's his message. When you donate an organ, you get more than you give.
What this has done is it gave me something that I could do that was, from my perspective, even extraordinary, and to give my life meaning. And that's really hard to find that.
Thank you, Brian. And now to a story about how struggle can spark purpose in your life. A Utah teenager took a life-changing diagnosis and created something in order to help people face what she was going through. Rachel B. had a very active childhood, playing outside and working with animals. But
But that all changed when she was diagnosed with Crohn's disease at just 13 years old.
I just wanted to get out and live and be a kid, but physically my body just wouldn't let me because I was in too much pain.
The chronic autoimmune disorder is managed by infusion treatments. So at 13, B was spending 6 to 8 hours in a chair at an infusion center every week.
It was just really uncomfortable. I was always super cold, and I thought, I should make a solution for this.
That's how Infusion Hero got its start.
So I started out just kind of sketching out some designs, some ideas. I spent a lot of time doing research just because I was so excited and so passionate about it.
That passion turned into a real-life product, a sweatshirt with a zippered sleeve, making it easier for patients to stay warm and have IV access. B worked with her school's business club and a clothing designer to create the sweatshirt.
It had started as just an idea, just something I had quickly drawn out on paper, and then fast forward a couple of months and I'm wearing this hoodie, and I can just see how if I were able to get this product out, even though it's in the very early stages, it could be something that could help people so much.
She's actually working with a manufacturer and has had more than a dozen pre-orders for sweatshirts already. She's starting college this fall and is going to continue to work on what she says is her dream that has actually changed her life after the diagnosis.
It really gave me a purpose. It gave me passion. It gave me something that I could look forward to, that I could think about. I really just want to create something that can help people as they go through these experiences, because it's really scary, honestly, to be in that hospital. So just having a little something there to keep you warm can really make a difference.
Oh, Rachel, what you've created is more than a hoodie. It's heart. And our heart is with you as you head off to college, wishing you all our best. If you've got a story like Rachel's, we'd love to hear about it. Email us, would you? Dear David at cbsnews.com. I will see you next Monday.
It's Monday, and that means it's time for Begnau's America, where CBS News contributor David Begnaud finds the heart in each and every story. This week, we are continuing our beloved Dear David month. July is dedicated to stories submitted to David by viewers just like yourself. Here's David.
Well, good morning. Come with me to Texas for our first story. Jessica Caldwell cleaned classrooms as a custodian by night. And by day, she would study, all while raising 4 kids. Now, 11 years later, she holds 4 degrees. And you know what Jessica proves? Dreams never sleep. For more than a decade, Jessica Caldwell cleaned classrooms overnight at A&M Central Texas University. She scrubbed toilets, vacuumed floors, and walked more than 26,000 miles behind a custodian's cart. But the 38-year-old mother of 4 had her heart set on graduating from college and teaching one day. So when her shift ended at 5 a.m., Jessica juggled caring for her children and college courses.
I was in charge of cleaning the classrooms in 2 of the buildings out of the 3 that we have at A&M Central Texas. A couple of them actually have computers in them, so I was actually able to work on my homework during my lunch break and whatnot.
And during the day, she sat in the very same classrooms that she cleaned at night. But her work schedule made it nearly impossible for her to complete a traditional teaching degree. So with some help from the university and her professors, she found a workaround. And the secret to her grit might be somewhat surprising.
I'm trying to give myself grace as far as finishing stuff. Because at the end of the day, I'm not quitting.
Jessica received her bachelor's and then her master's, all while working full-time as a custodian.
Just be persistent as far as continuing on something that you want to achieve. Just keep at it and don't stop. A lot of people that have a job that they think that they don't matter in, they actually do really matter. I know a lot of people, when they hear, oh, you're a janitor, you're a custodian, they kind of like look down on that. I just want people to realize, like, it doesn't matter what kind of job that people might look down on, you do matter. It doesn't run without us, really.
Well, now she is one step away from earning her teaching credentials later this year. She's going to go from cleaning those classrooms to leading them. Love your perspective, Jessica. Wishing you and your family our very best. Staying in Texas now, our next story is about the bonds that link us together and what happens when friendship shows up at your doorstep. This story is all about a man in Denton, Texas, and, well, man's best friend. Many dogs see the mailman as a threat, but pretty boy Floyd is not most dogs.
He always treated me as if I wasn't a stranger.
The Border Collie mix was a reliable, friendly face on postal worker Ian Burke's route. But when that route changed more than a year ago, it ended their regular visits. Then, in May, Burke says he overheard the mail carrier who had inherited his old route saying that his former four-legged customer was at the dog pound. Floyd's owner, an elderly Vietnam veteran, had just died, and the dog had nowhere to go. So
I didn't want him in the shelter any longer than he needed to be. They opened up at 10 a.m. and I got there at 9:50 just to make sure that I was in line and that there was no other fans of Floyd ahead of me to get him.
What are you doing? Come here.
it worked, which means both of their morning routines look a little different these days. Mr. Burke, you delivered when it mattered. And now, you got a pretty good boy to show for it.
What are you doing, mister?
To Sioux Falls, South Dakota now. About a year ago, we told you about a young man who had gotten in trouble for graffiti. But the mayor of his hometown believed in him, became his mentor, gave him an opportunity, and now they just unveiled an art wall with this young man's graffiti at the heart of it.
Jaden's a really incredible and talented artist, and I got to know him, and he was like, hey, we need to have kind of a public art wall space in the community.
After months of planning, the art wall in Sioux Falls, South Dakota officially opened back in May. And guess who had the first prime spot? 19-year-old Jaden Bruns.
I'm super grateful to be able to, come out here and just be out here and do it, and not just in some tunnel somewhere.
It was Jaden's illegal graffiti that inspired the mayor, Paul Tenhaken, to take on the new public art project. And he was inspired because of what happened after he gave Jaden a second chance and then decided to mentor him.
It's neat to see what art can do for a community. It's neat to see what second chances can do for someone when they're given to them.
Jaden's future is promising. Since we first aired his story on CBS Mornings, he landed an illustration deal for an upcoming children's book series. And the requests for more murals by him keep rolling in.
Just see all the random puzzle pieces that came together to just help me be where I'm at right now. And it's still going really good, so I'm excited to see where my career takes me.
There are so many great stories like that right in the heart of America. And if you've got one, we'd love to hear about it. Write to us, would you? Dear David at cbsnews.com. And I'll see you next Monday.
It's Monday, so you know what that means. It's time for Begnau's America. That's where CBS News contributor, there he is, David Begnaud, finds the heart in every single story he does. So this week, we're continuing with Dear David Month. July is dedicated to stories submitted to David by viewers just like you. We see you. Here's David.
Well, good morning. Our first story comes to us from Linda Garner-Gullix in Cheyenne, Wyoming. Every day we make decisions guided by our sense of right and wrong. And Linda sent us a heartwarming tale about two neighbors, and she hopes that it reminds us to slow down and to see the good, even in life's misfortunes. Before I tell you about how these two became friends, let me just say that it would be hard to find a more extraordinary way for two total strangers to wind up here. This past January, 16-year-old Gracie was heading home from church on an icy road in Cheyenne, Wyoming, when she realized
I had no control of my car whatsoever.
I turn and I look, and this car had just slid into us.
The first thing Brian Pedersen did was check on his kids in the back seat. Then he got out to meet the driver.
I see a tag that it's one of the tags from the local high school to park in the high school. And, oh, this is a young kid.
He was really touched by the fact that she was so concerned about the minimal damage to his car, while her car had just been totaled.
I felt helpless. I felt really attached to my car. It was like something I'd worked really hard for and something I wanted to use so that I didn't have to trouble others with like rides to work, rides to school too. So I was devastated.
The story could have ended there. But that night, Pedersen couldn't shake this nagging feeling.
Something deep down said, we gotta do something to help her.
So he started making some calls.
And I found out she's, of course, a good student at her high school. She works at a hardware store where she paid for that car herself.
He asked friends for donations on Facebook. Little by little, with a few $1,000s of his own money.
You want to check it out a little bit?
Yeah. Pedersen raised nearly $14,000 to get Gracie a new car.
I didn't even know what to say. I didn't know what to do, like, because this is such a huge gift, obviously, and I had no idea how to express how much it really meant.
I said, you'll know when you see it. It'll be over the next 20 years, and there'll be some opportunity. You'll be able to pay it forward in the manner in which it presents itself.
Now remember, he's the victim. He didn't have to do this, but he felt a moral obligation to make sure that she entered the next chapter of her life, knowing that sometimes, somewhere, she will always be able to find support where she least expects it.
I didn't think anything was possible for me, for someone like me, like that.
Good deeds are contagious. And I think that's true of all of us. We all want to help. We all want to hold the door open for someone behind us. It's how communities are built.
Doing good feels good. And that kind of joy is downright contagious. And the best part of it all is that it's never too early to start, as our next story out of Seattle, Washington shows us.
Once we started winning more money, we always spent it on ourselves.
Vivon and Sarong started playing chess as toddlers. Their home in Washington State is filled with trophies and medals. But their biggest accomplishments are not what they take home. It's what they give away.
Now we realize that there's a lot of kids and adults in need, so we try to donate most of the money now, because we know it's not just about us, it's about others.
Others like 10-year-old Atlas, who has been suffering from chronic pancreatitis since he was 4 years old. And with no known cure for the disease, his condition has only gotten worse.
He was in the hospital 17 times over the last 12 months. I would say that we were at probably the lowest point that we've been since we've been on this journey.
After hearing about Atlas through a mutual friend's fundraiser, the boys had an idea. If either one of them won money at their upcoming chess tournament, they'd donate it to Mission Cure, an organization working to find a cure for pancreatitis. And that is exactly what Vivon did when he placed first in his section. It was a no-brainer for him.
You don't always have to spend for yourself if you don't need anything, and you can spend it on people who actually need help.
$225. Not bad for a 7-year-old, but for Atlas,
someone had actually donated that was like a kid and didn't spend on something else, like was really meaningful.
I built all of this.
meeting these big-hearted brothers for the first time was priceless.
It was a spark of hope that was really needed during a very dark time.
And that is why I love Dear David. It's shining a spotlight on the best of us, the best of you. So if you've got a good story that you think we need to know about, hit us up on email, would you? DearDavid@cbsnews.com. I'll see you next week.
That's what David always does. I love the first story where they said good deeds are always contagious.
Yeah, and that is building community.
Exactly right.
The future is bright with kids like that. That's
Bravo.
for sure.
It is Monday, and that means it's time for Begnauds America, where CBS News contributor David Begnaud finds the heart in every story. Today marks the start of Dear David Month. We are dedicating the next several weeks to submitted stories that were submitted to David by viewers like you. Here's David.
Hey, y'all, good morning. We're going to dive into our first story out of Green Bay, Wisconsin. And this is a story that reminds you that in life, there is always a way to help.
Karen Roberts from New Richmond, Wisconsin, wrote to me asking if I would do a story about a guy on Facebook who calls himself Ed the Diver.
Man, you watch my YouTube or TikTok? Oh, both awesome.
Ed Bieber has built an online following, filming river cleanups and rescuing lost items.
I got the lures off it.
From lures to drones to guns. Some fans even leave him notes
I had the diver on this lure from Jody or Judy. Pretty funny.
Sometimes he finds the unexpected.
Yeah, I thought little.
Like his now fiance, Christy.
I go find some.
They met when Christy bought a mangled Barbie doll that Ed had found in a lake.
That's crazy.
I never thought I'd find my best friend at the age of 40, and we've just been inseparable.
The couple likes diving, but it's really the drive to give back that gets them in the water.
My main goal is to clean up the waterways, just do what I can as a person and make an impact.
Back in March of this year, Ed got a message on Facebook from a man named Derek Steinke. Derek's friend Bobby had died on his way to work after landing upside down in his vehicle on a frozen river. Bobby's wife was the first at the scene.
Her phone fell in the river when she was trying to save Bobby or, get him out of the car. And his phone was at the bottom of the river as well.
All geared up, ready to hop in the water.
Couldn't think of anybody better than you to come and give us a hand.
I appreciate you giving me a call, man.
Derek asked Ed to go diving to find the phones.
Here we go. Thank you. I have no idea. Happy to help. It means a lot to me too.
Ed found both phones, and Bobby's wife says the family was able to recover photos and messages and get back memories that they thought would be lost forever. That kindness and compassion, she said, will always stay with me.
I'm getting a little emotional here.
Got my new air tank on.
There are a lot of great people out there, and Ed is one of those great people.
The guy that had us go out there and say, hey, how much can I give you? Whatever. I'm like, we don't want any money. We just want, from the bottom of our hearts, wanted to help the family get their memories back.
Ed the diver, love what you're doing, man. Keep it up. To Louisiana now, in the Bayou State where I am proud to call home. We kicked off a project highlighting good news from our country's future, college students.
David is looking for the best of our students, impacting Louisiana and beyond.
Earlier this year, I asked college students across my beloved home state of Louisiana to tell me about the classmates who were quietly making a difference. And that's when I got an email from Southeastern Louisiana University senior, Reagan McCoy. She's like other students. She works a part-time job and even spends time with her dog, Lottie. But there's something that she's dealing with that most of her classmates are not.
I get lightheaded, I stop remembering where I am.
Reagan has POTS, a nervous system disorder that causes her heart rate to spike and her body to shut down without warning. It has sent her to the hospital more than a dozen times in the last year. When Reagan wrote to our team, she wanted to tell us about the people who were helping her to get through it, starting with classmate Bailey Babin.
I tell Bailey, tag, you're it, and she knows to kind of stop what she's doing. If she can, get me outside of the classroom as fast as possible. And she puts my head on her lap and she's timing it. So if we go past 5 minutes, she knows we need to call an ambulance because she's not waking up.
She also told us about Peyton Loving, a constant in her life who quietly steps up again and again. He happens to be her boyfriend.
Without Bailey or Peyton, I honestly don't know where I would be.
With our cameras rolling, Reagan let them in on the secret that their everyday kindness is worth telling the world about.
Bailey Babin. She is the most beautiful soul I have met to date. Without these two people, I would not be graduating early or at all. I would have struggled and felt helpless. Oh my God. They both make my health issues feel less than, not me. I am more than my poor health.
And on that point, everyone agreed.
Her health problems don't define who she is. She's a lot more than that.
Reagan means quite literally the world to me.
So we asked for stories about everyday heroes. And this is one of them. Because sometimes showing up every single time is the most extraordinary thing you can do.
When it comes to my friend's health and my friend's well-being, I'm gonna be there for her.
So do you have a story for us? A story about an everyday person doing something extraordinary for someone else? We'd love to hear about it if you do. Write to our team, Dear David at cbsnews.com. I'll see you next Monday.
Beautiful stories, and not even that extraordinary, just something they could do and don't mind doing. I mean, it's just
making
really
your little
sweet.
corner of the universe a better place for
Yes.
people that inhabit it. That's the goal.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
You
making
got
a
me
difference
there.
in your own world.
That's right.
You got me there too. Okay, David, you got me.
It's Monday, so that's time for Begnaud's America. This is where we find the heart in every story. So this morning, CBS News contributor, that's David Begnaud, is sharing a story very close to his own heart. As a former high school speech and debate champ, of course he was.
Yes, not surprised.
Yeah, not surprised, Adriana, at all. Last week, David introduced us to the students who found their voices through the competitions, but they didn't do it alone. Nobody does. Today, David is back with the story of a coach who started multiple speech programs that are changing lives today. As you're about to see, we decided to change hers.
What? It was a heartfelt surprise that brought this longtime speech and debate teacher to tears. A well-deserved tribute for an unsung hero.
They posted? Yeah.
Deb Gowie is one of the stars of the new documentary Speak, which shines a spotlight on this unique and empowering sport.
There's something in the water here.
She coaches in rural West Texas.
One kid didn't even own a suitcase before we started traveling. They have dirt floors. We have students that don't have heat or water. This is true poverty.
But Deb knew if they just found their voice, she could do the rest.
And I'd pay for the hotel rooms, the food.
When they sense a storm.
The single mother, who is a breast cancer survivor, even paid their entry fees with money that she saved from selling her own home to move here.
What was it last year? Y'all aren't going to make it to state. What'd we do? Made it to state. They're not going to make it to nationals. What'd we do? We made it to nationals.
But she admits they barely made it to nationals. In that minibus Deb drove herself.
And when we pulled up in our little awkward minibus, they were like, "Who's Brownfield? And what are they doing here?" And we went, "Hi, world. Nice to meet you."
And that student, right there in the front row, wasn't just her team's top performer.
Hey, don't let that get in your head.
Come on.
She's also Deb's daughter, Noor, whose senior year speech was about someone else very dear to them.
Everyone views him as a roadblock in our way, when really he's just a passenger riding beside us.
That passenger, who's also often a passenger on Deb's bus, is her son, Noah.
Day 8. Day 16. Today is day 21.
Noah can spend months at a time in the hospital because of a severe form of epilepsy called Lennox-Gastaut syndrome, which leads him to have seizures. Noah needs about 24 medicines every day, and Deb lovingly attends to his every need, all the while coming to terms with the reality that she may lose him.
Here we go.
You see, kids with Noah's condition often die from seizures in their sleep. So Deb and Noor took turns staying awake with him.
And I know this sounds terrible, but what has helped was watching other parents lose their children because I see how strong they are. And I think we can do this.
And to help her do it, we decided to surprise Deb over the weekend in Des Moines, Iowa on her sport's biggest stage, at the National Speech and Debate Tournament, where I was proud to serve as MC.
Deb, you are the quintessential unsung hero. You are an extraordinary mother, an extraordinary coach, and you are an inspirational figure for those of us watching the way you love your son and what you do for him. And I told my friends at Canva about you, and they love unsung heroes. And so, Deb, Canva is sending you back to Texas with $100,000.
Tell me what's going through your head right now.
I'm just in disbelief. Like, we're $4 million in medical debt right now. And so, Noah just got out of the hospital. He spent 5 months in the hospital, and Nora and I took turns being at bedside. It's been a stressful year.
A hard year indeed that was just made a little bit easier by Canva and the NSDA, the National Speech and Debate Association, which is run by Scott One.
What has the NSDA, the sport, the organization, meant to you?
Oh my gosh, it's everything, because these kids, especially the kids that I teach that are in the middle of nowhere, yet they get that opportunity to use their voices and to advocate for themselves.
Listen, we gave $100,000 to Deb. And so I want to say on behalf of students, because I once was one, Mr. One, congratulations on 100 years, and Canva is also giving $100,000 to the NSDA.
Yeah! Are you kidding me?
No joke!
It's no joke!
Got you!
You got me!
Got you!
You did that. And tonight is a great night!
Thank you, Canva. So Deb started driving back to Texas on Sunday, and she stopped and she wrote on Facebook, I can finally fix my plumbing. I can get Noah his therapy, a shower chair, get his wheelchair fixed. And she said, no, Nor, my daughter, doesn't have to stress about tuition this year. This is heaven sent, she said.
Oh, that's so nice. It's so nice to get unexpected money when you really need it. Especially for somebody, David, who was so deserving. What a special, special person.
And has poured so
Amen.
much into others.
We love teachers.
Yes,
we really
do.
do.
Delivered again, David.
Amen.
That was a great surprise.
As he always does. Thank you, David Begnaud. Thank you on this Monday morning.
You
Next
bet.
hour, we're going to talk to the winner of the National Speech and Debate Association's Original Oratory Championship on CBS Mornings Plus with the lovely Adriana and the lovely Vlad. And if you have a story for David, please contact him. He loves us at deardavid@cbsnews.com or reach out to David on social media. He's always looking for you.
It's a Monday. You know what that means. Begnauds America, where CBS News contributor David Begnaud finds the heart in each and every story. And this week, he goes to Louisiana for a reunion years in the making. A tearful homecoming wrapped in sacrifice, second chances, and the power of strangers who turn into family. David says that what you're about to see may restore your faith in humanity.
It's an early morning on the bayou as Roberta Bell arrives in Louisiana, her heart pounding.
Oh, I'm so anxious to see Kason.
Kason is the baby she raised from birth 2 years ago. His birth mother, Katie, who was incarcerated, asked Miss Bell to care for him.
She wanted someone that would just keep the baby until it was her time to get out.
At that time, Roberta Bell was a correctional officer at the Louisiana Women's Prison where Katie was incarcerated. She says she told her supervisor what she was going to do.
I said, if the hospital called me to come get that baby, I'm going to get that baby. And he said, well, okay, I'm going to have to terminate you.
Was it the right thing to do?
Oh, it was definitely the right thing to do. And if I had to do it all over again, I would do it.
She did it to keep Kason out of foster care. But after a brief reunion with his mother post-prison, addiction landed Katie back in jail. And Kason in foster care after all.
When I heard it, it just broke my heart because I had sacrificed to make sure that he would be taken care of.
Now this is where Skylar Moore and Christian Moore come in. They became Kason's foster parents.
This was basically her baby. You know, she had him for the first couple months of his life, and now she didn't know where he was, what could have happened to him. And like in my heart, I told my husband, I was like, I can't let her go to sleep another night not knowing that he's safe.
So she wrote to her to say just that.
a person that didn't even know me, didn't even know how to get in touch with me, but she found me. She found me. And so that meant so much to me.
Kaysen was placed in the right foster home because his biological sister was already living there. But for nearly 2 years, Roberta Bell was not allowed to see the boy she used to sing to sleep. State officials wouldn't allow it. So there she waited anxiously, outside that courthouse on that day, to see him again, for what we told her was going to be a court-appointed visit. There was already buzz among law enforcement about her being there.
Okay. You are a special lady. I have heard your story. Oh, thank you. You are so special. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
And then, across the parking lot, Miss Bell saw him, and her reaction said it all.
Hey, my baby, come here, man, come here. Oh, come here. It's okay, Mom. Oh, my God.
Kaysen didn't really seem to recognize Miss Bell, but she held him close anyway. This was not going to be just a visit. It was Adoption Day, and Roberta Bell was going to be the guest of honor.
Hey, dear man. Hey, how you doing?
Miss Bell had no idea that Christian and Skylar had applied to adopt Kaysen.
So much, God. Thank you.
Was it a nice surprise?
Oh, yes, indeed.
Inside, Judge Jeffrey Cash made it official.
Oh, there's some beautiful people. They're very good people. My prayer was that he be put with somebody that's gonna love him as their own and take care of him and make sure that he grows up to be what he needs to be.
Oh, it's just a happy day. It's a day of final realization that things are safe for him, and him coming to us was a blessing in total.
Christian is now the legal father that Kaysen was born without, and his deep gratitude towards Miss Bell comes with the weight of that responsibility.
You put yourself through so much. It's very respectable and it's very honorable. That's how I look at it. I'm so thankful for what she did, for what she sacrificed, and what she's pushing forward to do in the future for him.
In the end, it's not just about a baby. It's about a village, a love without conditions, and about strangers all becoming family.
There's no telling how many Christmases she'll pop up, birthdays, holidays. You know, might just come home from work one day and boom, Miss Bell's here.
Oh, they found their forever home. David, that's such a nice story.
Yeah, really.
What can you tell us about the biological mother? Where is she?
So, well, she is now out of jail. She has gone through some addiction issues and is working to get her life back on track. You know, Kaysen, the best thing is he's being raised with his sister, his biological sister in that home, and he has a great life. I'm telling y'all, if there was a human Hall of Fame, Roberta Bell would be right there in it. What a remarkable, remarkable lady.
Yeah, and I love the foster parents now, his permanent parents and
forever family,
forever home. But I love how he said, Miss Bell is here. I like that.
Right.
Something tells me she might pop up a time or two. Beautiful story.
You can count on it.
All right, David, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
It's Monday, time for Begnauds America, where we find the heart in every story. This morning, CBS News contributor David Begnaud will show us an 11-year-old with a big dream. More than 30 years ago, this young immigrant wanted to interview the President of the United States. This improbable request led to what he calls the never-ending gift, and now it's changing lives for another generation.
You got a grilling? Yeah, no. Hey, I've heard about you guys. I'm terrified.
That interviewer, who terrified President Bill Clinton,
And you're from Missouri, right?
Right.
was an 11-year-old boy.
It all began with a letter to Bill Clinton asking for an interview.
That's Kevin Nazimi back in 1993 when he was just a sixth grader. He and his family were new to the United States, having immigrated from Iran for a better life, he says.
When you came to the U.S., you spoke no English.
I spoke no English.
And that means, as his teacher said at the time, he didn't really know what the word impossible meant.
And then try to give you some easier questions. Right?
Because a child getting an interview with the President of the United States? I mean, come on.
Questions will be,
But that is exactly what Kevin and his friend Sam Bornhauser came up with.
Kids in our 8, Columbia.
For a class project that teamed up kids from the local TV station at the University of Missouri, KOMU, to make these reports.
I sent off a letter to the White House, and I got a coloring book back. And so I decided to call the White House, and I still remember the number, 202-456-7150.
He got through to a 23-year-old junior staffer named Dave Anderson.
His tone was demanding. It never felt like, pretty please, can I get an interview with the president? It was much more, when can I get the interview with the president? Like, that was it. He was going to get the interview, and the letter outlined other interviews he was going to get. He was going to interview Gorbachev. He was going to interview Nelson Mandela.
Kevin says he called you almost every day for 2 weeks. He would call in the morning before school, and he would call in the afternoon after school.
Yeah. I remember he called all the time, and I was like, I don't know what to tell you, Kevin. Like, I don't have anything new today.
This guy took your call.
He took my call, and he treated me seriously and with kindness and encouragement.
Until one day, Kevin got called to the principal's office.
It was Dave on the phone, and he said, you've been granted an interview with the president. Can you get to Cleveland?
Did you think, oh, this will be good for the president? Him
No,
with a kid,
no,
it'll have him come off looking good.
No, what I thought was, I love this kid. I want to make this happen, because it's a better world when a little kid can ask the president some questions. Simple as that.
Now, at that point, Kevin hadn't even told his parents what he was working on. And he had just 3 days to prepare for an 8-minute interview with the leader of the free world. They collected questions from their classmates.
Bye, Missouri. Bye.
And chronicled their trip to Cleveland,
Here it is.
where the pair stayed up a bit past their bedtime.
Yeah, it's 1:10 a.m. right now.
The night before the biggest day of their lives.
With Sam on the camera, I began my questioning of the 42nd president.
Mr. President, what advice would you give for kids that want to become president one day?
Study very hard in school. Develop your mind.
Are you putting any money aside for the rainforest?
Well, how will your education plan attract the best people to become teachers? If you could make one lot for the United States, just one lot, what would it be?
I would pass an economic policy that would make our families secure.
They talked forever. The president loved him. And I was like, whew.
Kevin went home with enough for a half-hour special.
Sam and I were impressed that the president had prepared for our interview and spent some extra time chatting with us. Rex and Angela, back to you.
That's great. I'm going to look out for my job. I've got some competition here.
That kid, who came to America with a dream, went on to MIT, then Harvard Business School.
We built a health insurance that was simple from
and then founded 4 startups, including the latest one called Charlie, which reimagines banking for older Americans.
What you did with the president, you think, put you on this path to success.
Absolutely.
And Kevin never forgot that White House staffer who put him on that path.
We got to narrow it down because we don't have that much time.
You were so cute.
Kevin and Dave became and have remained really good friends. So Dave wasn't the least bit surprised when Kevin called one day asking for the exact spelling of the names of Dave's kids, Noah and Maddie. But Dave was stunned when he got a note in the mail explaining why.
Dave, many thanks for letting me take a swing in my field of dreams so many years ago. Your doing so opened up my mind and eyes to what is possible. He had set up these college funds for my kids. And it just floored me. Still does.
And as those college funds grew, so did Dave's kids. Noah's now a high school senior, but he and his sister have never had a chance to meet the man who believed in their futures.
Hey, can I hug you?
Just as their father had once believed in him.
I can't tell you guys how nice it is to meet you. I've heard so much about you, how awesome you are.
You know, obviously you've contributed to their future, and Noah has now decided where he's going to go to college.
Fantastic.
I'm going to Mississippi State.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
It's just like reassuring that like someone else out there that we hardly even know just like wanted to help us. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
It's my honor. What I've done is so small compared to what your dad's done for me. Thank you for the never-ending gift that started with me, but being passed on to so many others. You mean the world to me, and I still, to this day, ask myself, can I be as good as Dave was? Can I be as patient as Dave was? Would I pick up the phone? Would I give somebody who is pursuing their dream the space to explore that you gave me?
I could not love this story anymore. So you might be wondering, has anybody told Bill Clinton what happened with this young boy? As it turns out, we reunited Kevin and the former president last week.
Hi, Kevin.
Hello, it's a pleasure to see you again, sir.
Thank you. I'm glad to see you. I still remember when you came to interview me. I still remember when Dave Anderson said we should do it. And my staff looked like this, and I said, no, this is a good idea. Let's do this.
The opportunity that you provided for me convinced me that you set really, really big goals and be persistent towards them. And certainly the generosity and the honesty and the experience of sitting down with you showcased for me traits that I've tried to carry forward in my professional and personal life.
I have a very clear memory of the conversation we had before I met you about whether it was a good idea. And I said, if he's worked this hard, this is a good idea, and he'll give us a good interview. And you know, I didn't always get the best press, so I knew at least I'd get a straight interview from you.
Thank you for everything.
I'm proud of you.
Oh, you're too kind.
We need more people like you.
It's so kind of you.
God bless
Thank
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, wow. There's so many layers to this story, David. It's not just Dave Anderson who gave this young man this opportunity because he was so persistent. There's the immigrant story aspect of this story. And kudos to President Clinton for treating the interview seriously.
Yeah,
he didn't
he did.
patronize Kevin when he gave him those answers. And that all led to that moment where he funded Dave's kids' education. Beautiful.
Yeah, it was a full circle moment. And I want to say in closing, here's to all the pests, all the people who they say you're demanding and you're persistent, you won't stop. Yeah. This is for you guys. Keep persisting, keep pushing, because this is the kind of stuff that can happen. That young immigrant boy has gone on to change a lot for people in their lives. And bravo to the opportunity of giving him the chance to dream big.
And I love that he still remembers the White House number.
I just dialed it. I just dialed it. Yeah, I dialed it.
If you have a story idea, you can reach David and his team at deardavid@cbsnews.com or contact David directly on social media.
It's a Monday, and that means it's time for Begnauds America, where we find the heart in each and every story. Well, today, CBS News contributor David Begnaud brings us to a small community in Idaho for a story that shows just how far a little kindness can go.
At the last remaining video store in Pocatello, Idaho, the curtains have closed. And the final act in the story of the video stop, a staple in Pocatello for more than 30 years, had to do with the owner, David Craning, figuring out how he would tell his best customer that it was over.
Hello.
You see, Christina Kavanaugh's day, every day for the last 20 years or so, has been to rent a movie from the video stop, often the same movies, around the same time every afternoon.
She doesn't ask for very much. She asks for very little.
So when she does express herself, I try and accommodate her. Did you have a good day?
That's Toni Kavanaugh, Christina's mom. Her life is dedicated to Christina, who has Down syndrome and is mostly nonverbal.
Are you crying again?
Every night, like clockwork, Christina eats her dinner and watches her movies. Now, getting them could not be easier. From their house to the video stop, it's only about a 1-minute drive. And Christina doesn't even need the movies. Toni owns most of them. But that's not the point of the story.
She won't watch the ones here. She'll only watch them if they're from the video store.
It's all about the routine, which is essential for Christina's happiness.
I think it's comforting.
Not so comforting was the reality Dave was facing.
Last year, just looking at the financials at the end of the year, it's like it just wasn't sustainable.
So he knew what he had to do with the business. But about Christina.
This was one of my first jobs. I remember back in high school, her bringing her daughter in, yet getting the movies, and it's been that long.
He probably should have closed sooner. Oh dear. But he kept it open for her.
So you won't be surprised to hear what Dave did next. He owns the convenience store next door to the video stop. So inside, he dedicated a section as Christina's Corner. He put up some shelving and a display of DVDs to make it just like what she's used to seeing. And then Dave put Christina's favorite movies front and center.
That somebody would do something so kind for her specifically like that. He wasn't thinking about anything else except her. And that's huge. If you love my child, I love you.
Toni says Pocatello has been the best place to raise Christina.
You got your pretties on.
Because the people here treat them like family. And few better than Dave and his team.
Come here, Christina.
Who are waiting every day around 3:30 p.m. when Christina comes walking through that door and now heads for her corner.
Hey, Dave.
Where she grabs the movie, walks to the register, and checks it out herself.
2, 0.
Even pays the bill.
Good job. Sign your name, okay?
And just before leaving, does this.
You are so very welcome, Christina.
A powerful gesture that says everything she might want to say. Thank you, and I'll see you tomorrow.
I'll have a wonderful rest of your
You
day.
as well. See you tomorrow.
This is what I love about storytelling. One person does something simple for somebody else, and it makes millions of people smile.
And so do you, Dave.
Hey, that's
that was
you
a
every
beautiful
week.
story. Thank you.
Really nice.
That's you on a Monday, David.
Yeah, it's called Begnauds America.
Thank you, David.
It's a Monday, and you know what that means. Begnaud America, where CBS News contributor David Begnaud finds the heart in every story. This week is part of our Surprise Cities series. We surprised David with a ticket at the airport and challenged him to find the story in just 48 hours. Let's see what he found.
Okay, where are we going? Oh, Greenville, South Carolina.
Now, I had been to Greenville before, but this was a surprise trip, and I had just 48 hours to sniff out a story. Greenville is nestled in the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains. With tree-lined streets and a historic downtown, there are cascading waterfalls where the Reedy River meanders right through this charming southern city. Falls Park is where we set up our sign saying, "I'm looking for a story," with the help of my pup Paddington.
I have a story that's inspiring.
The story is that at 62 years old, I'm starting over. I have been traveling by myself. I have started disco dancing again, and I've just started really living my life just for me, which is something I've never done.
Well, I started my own pop-up record store about a year ago.
How's that going?
I found some happiness there that I didn't think was possible. So
I love hearing that.
Yeah.
I love hearing that.
only took me 30 years.
That's all right. Some people go an entire lifetime without finding it.
One of the things I learned, if you want to change your lifestyle, make it public so
Yes.
you have people accountable to you.
That's right.
Because accountability is the one thing that helps you make that change.
Bingo.
Bingo.
That's the point.
Yeah, hey, I appreciate you're doing this.
My pleasure. Thanks for sitting.
Yeah.
Thanks for chatting. Thank you. Right about then, I noticed two little girls who had been petting Paddington earlier had come back with dolls.
Hi.
Hi.
So we wanted to tell you why we're here. So we're here delivering American Girl dolls, and we're delivering them to girls who were affected by Hurricane Helene. And we want to show you a video.
What's up, Appalachian families? We're going to show you some of the dolls we've been working on. This is Hallie and Caddy. They lost their entire home. This is Arabella and Bailey. A tree fell on their home and damaged a lot of things inside.
What are your names?
I'm Kenzie. And I'm Kaylee.
And your sisters?
Yes, sir.
From
St. Cloud, Florida.
St. Cloud, Florida. And so you're here to do what?
Deliver some of the Appalachian dolls.
How old are you?
9. I'm 11. I'm
Okay.
turning 12 in May.
Okay.
And I'm turning 10 in April.
That's wonderful. You both are very good speakers. Very good speakers.
Thank you.
How do you feel doing this?
I'm very happy and excited that we get to help out.
Yeah. What does that excitement mean to you? Do you want to do more of it?
Oh, yes. Lots more.
Yes.
A lot more.
Could I meet your mom?
Yes.
Hello, Mom. What is your name?
Angela.
Hi, Angela. Nice to
guys.
meet you.
Yes.
Okay. So how did this all come about?
Hurricane Helene hit, and we usually try to volunteer because we're used to hurricanes where we live. We couldn't take a chainsaw up there, so we were like, well, how do we affect a girl to help them quickly? And that's through play. And so we said, well, let's do Anna the Appalachian doll. So her story is that she understands what the girls went through.
Okay.
And that she is going to be her new friend to help her, that she's brave, she is strong, and that she's going to make it through this.
Now, the Tilshers were just passing through Greenville on their way to North Carolina to deliver more dolls.
Welcome to North Carolina!
So we joined them and the dolls on the ride into the mountains.
Hello!
And along the way, we set up an opportunity for them to get to meet some of the girls who had already received their dolls.
Oh my goodness, you guys! It is so great to meet you. Are you guys huggers? Say yes. Yes, you are. Can you give you guys a hug?
The children, all homeschooled and close-knit, were a bit shy. But it was amazing to watch how the sisters used the dolls to break the ice.
What's your favorite thing to do with Anna?
I like to bring her in a lot of stuff.
On what was a chilly morning here in Burnsville, North Carolina, 9-year-old Addie caught my eye.
I love her so much, and she looks just like me.
Just before Hurricane Helene hit, Addie was diagnosed with alopecia. The Florida sisters knew that, and they customized a doll that mirrored her.
For her to get a doll that represents something that
Yes.
she's going through
Yes.
is, I mean, this whole initiative, they've brought undescribable joy to so many little girls.
Like 13-year-old Autumn, who cradles her doll in a way that symbolizes both hope and confidence.
I used to go to this Girl Scout thing. I wouldn't bring my doll because I was scared people my age would think I was weird or something. But I guess it's fine. It's my doll. It's my choice what I do with it.
As the dolls gave way to precious child's play, the moms, who are the homeschool teachers, reflected on this lesson in kindness, which, no matter how small, can move mountains.
We've just been through a lot. Because of these dolls. we were able to still give my daughter something special on Christmas. Something that we probably wouldn't have been able to do otherwise.
What were you trying to teach these two sweeties?
So that is the biggest thing. So for them, it's character building. And it keeps them looking at the other people always and not themselves. And so I really needed something for them to feel like that they were participating that's bigger than themselves, because it's not about us. That's ultimately the reason why this was started, was how can I incorporate them to bless others?
Well, y'all are a blessing.
David said it right. Y'all are a blessing.
David's amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like we sent him there almost on a dare. Like, here's a surprise ticket to a place. See what you can find.
Find a story.
And he sets up a chair, and that's a great story to come through there. They're from Florida. They knew they couldn't bring a chainsaw to help clear out and help people recover from Hurricane Helene there in the Carolinas. So they brought dolls instead.
Yeah,
They lost
and
everything.
I know the parents try to do the best they can to help their kids out, but it's funny how little kids know what little kids need.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Dolls make everything better. That's the moral of that story. Thank you, David, again.
Thank you again, David. If you've got a story for David, folks at home, you can contact him and his team at deardavid@cbsnews.com or reach out to David directly on social media. It's a Monday. That means it's time for Begnauds America, where we find the heart in every story. Today, CBS News contributor David Begnaud meets a 9-year-old girl whose life was changed by an act of generosity. And now her generosity is changing the lives of others.
I want to do different things like cut my own food without asking for so much help.
What else?
And doing your own hair. Yes, as soon as I figure out how to do that.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
She's 9 and a little nervous. Cameras have a way of doing that to you. She's the heart of this story because of a single act that sparked a ripple of kindness and triggered a chain reaction fueled by the generosity of people she's never even met. Remy Bateman was born without her left forearm and hand. She's been using a prosthesis, commonly referred to as a prosthetic arm, since she was 6 months old. Helpful, but it doesn't give her the ability to independently move fingers. Last year, her mom, Jamie, came across a social media post for Open Bionics and its 3D printed, multi-grip hero arm. Each finger has its own motor, making it possible to grip everyday items with precision. Remy and her family from Salt Lake City met with Open Bionics for an initial fitting. The hope was that insurance would cover it.
You are doing really good.
Yay!
Insurance said no, that it wasn't medically necessary.
Insurance might say, I understand that would help, but like, she doesn't need it to live. It's a cosmetic improvement. What would you say to them?
I would say, why don't you try to live with one hand? I do understand that you can live just fine without it, but imagine what you could do if you had 2 hands. I feel like the whole world is built around having 2 hands.
Without insurance, the bionic arm was $24,000. Like many Americans with medical needs not covered by insurance, Remy and her mom turned to crowdsourcing. Her story made the local news, and they raised $24,000 in just 4 days.
When you hit $24,000 in the GoFundMe, did you think, well, we'll just stop there?
Initially, yes, but I actually was contacted by a very nice man, a CEO in Texas.
It was Andy Schoonover, the CEO of CrowdHealth, a subscriber-based crowdfunding platform for medical bills. He called the Batemans after seeing their plea for help on social media and said, I want to buy the hero arm for Remy. That is where this story takes a turn.
But then I looked at her and I said, guess what, Remy, we have $24,000, but you already got your arm paid for. What do you want to do with it?
Help more kids.
Why did you want to do that?
So people can actually have a life-changing arm, like me.
I love you for that. I love your heart.
Across the country in Maryland, 9-year-old Taj Johnson was also trying to raise money for a hero arm. He was born with a partial left hand.
We've been looking for different types of like prosthetics or maybe surgeries, something to help give him some type of usage of his left hand.
And like Remy, Taj's health insurance company said denied.
That kind of hurts because you're telling me that a kid being able to function with daily tasks, something as small as feeding themselves, getting dressed, you're telling me that that's not medically necessary.
But these are everyday important things.
Yes. Yep. Things that you need to be able to do to survive.
When the denial came in, what'd you think you'd do?
I sat and thought long and hard because I'm like, I can't just ask for donations and ask for help. Times are hard as it is for people right now. What can we do?
Taj's mom, Caitlin Skinner, started selling lemonade, but only raised $1,500 in 4 months. Then she got a call from Remy's mom.
We wanted to offer your family, our GoFundMe got so much love and support from everybody. We wanted to pay the rest of what Taj needs to get the hero arm for himself for you guys.
Oh my gosh. We are so grateful and thankful because I really just sat here today and was thinking I wasn't able to do this for Taj for Christmas, but maybe next summer we'll be able to get it done. Guys.
Have you met Remy?
Not yet.
No. What would you like to say to her, Taj?
Thank you for paying for my prosthetic, and I hope we'll meet one day.
Yeah, that would be great, wouldn't it? That'd be great. One day. I'm sure you'll meet her one day. Yeah, that's my guy.
Taj and his mom drove to New York City to meet with Dan Green, who will make the mold that will become Taj's hero arm. And guess who else arrived in New York at our invitation?
Hey Taj, how's it going, bud?
Good.
Good, how you feeling today? Good. Good, you excited again? Yeah? Ready to get the next step done?
Hi. I drew a picture.
Sweetheart.
It's for you.
Remy brought Taj a special gift.
Thank you, Remy.
Remember that lemonade they were selling?
You trade me lemonade for your robot arm. Thank you, Remy. You're welcome, Taj.
A new friendship forged through the kindness of strangers. The donations for Remy continue to pour in. So you know what she's done? Pay it forward. She's used the funds to help 2 more children purchase their hero arm. 11-year-olds Faith from Florida and Gio from Peru. As for Remy, she is thrilled to have fingers that function.
Awesome, I love it.
The hero arm makes even the smallest things a triumph.
Wow.
Yeah!
Look at that, Rems.
Wow.
Yay!
You know, friends, Remy's story isn't just about overcoming obstacles. It is about giving others the chance to overcome theirs.
Hello, camera. Bye, camera.
Boy,
Wow.
David, I love that her initial instinct was, I want to help other kids. Right away, with no prompting, that's what she wanted to do. And now, talk about pay it forward, ripple after ripple after ripple.
Little 9-year-old from Bountiful, Utah, y'all, giving us that daily dose of inspiration to kick the week off right. I mean, I've watched that story 20 times and I'm wiping tears away here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the beauty in a child's desire to do something that for her just felt like the right thing to do. No prompting, no suggesting. She wanted to do it.
I also like the mom's reactions when the insurance company says, well, it's not really essential. And they said, well, you try.
That's right.
Living
You try.
without. Yeah,
It
you
highlights
try.
this report, the
Yes.
story that David is showing, how blessed we are to have
Yes.
those of us who do have
Exactly.
our hands. And I just think, as Gayle said, seeing this child in all of her innocence try to do something good for someone she doesn't know.
Yeah.
We should all take lessons away
It's
from
an amazing invention, by the way, also, the hero arm.
Yes.
I don't know how
I
it
was
works,
thinking
but
that
it's a kind of magic. It really is
It
special.
really is a hero arm. David, you've done it again.
It's a 3D thing, and listen, it's still $24,000, so that's expensive, but they're gonna get cheaper, and
Yeah.
with a motor at each fingertip, it's a brilliant device.
Yeah.
David Begnaud doing it once again. David, thank you very, very much. What a beautiful story.
It's Monday, and you know what that means. It's time for Begnauds America, where we find the heart in every story. This week, CBS News contributor David Begnaud finds that the heart in the heartland, in Iowa to be exact, is where 3 teenage boys at a special high school saw someone struggling, and they knew exactly what to do.
Welcome to Ottumwa, Iowa. Population, a little more than 25,000. The Des Moines River runs right through it. So does the constant rumble of the BNSF Railroad. More on that later. The town is well known as the birthplace of actor Tom Arnold. And this being Iowa, it's collected its share of presidential visits over the years, from Benjamin Harrison in the 19th century to Barack Obama in the 21st. Still, Ottumwa seems like an unlikely place to find a superhero.
Where was he? Show me where he was.
Let alone 3 of them.
Did he fall here in the track?
Yes, sir.
Clinton Ring, Paul Clannery, and Davison Hartman are 3 seniors at Gateway High School. Friends who may have just saved a life.
That second window right there,
The 3 were in their classroom in late October of last year when Paul saw something outside.
So you were looking out the window and you saw him fall?
Yes.
And what did you think in that moment?
To be honest, I felt like he needed help. So I just told these guys to come and help me out real quick.
A school security camera recorded what happened. Paul saw a man in danger. He'd fallen on the train tracks that run directly behind the school. He was struggling to get back up. And remember, this is a very active railroad.
All we hear is Paul calling our name, like, hey, I see an old man falling. And we're like, what? We went, check it out. We didn't think twice, we just went out and, helped them out.
The 3 boys ran out of the school and down to those tracks to help the man who was in trouble.
The next thing I know is they come running out of that room, past my room. Hey, Mr. E, there's a guy on the railroad tracks. We're gonna go save him.
Science teacher Matt Erlinson followed the 3 boys outside to see if he could also help. That's him with 2 service dogs.
Kind of by the time I was out there, they were kind of getting to him and helping him up off his feet. And then they started walking him to the bus stop. And that's about 2 blocks away. And I decided to pull out my phone and take a picture. It was these 2 young men on each side of this older gentleman with his arms around them. And it was just, a selfless act. They didn't wait and ask for permission. They just said, we're doing this.
And here's the thing about those kids and this school. Gateway High School is an alternative high school.
A lot of them are attendance issues at the high school or deficient in grades.
Aaron Ruff is the school's principal.
Some have some behavior issues, and some choose to come here just to be at a smaller setting. We really pride ourselves on not defining kids at their worst moment, but at their best.
So sometimes young people who come to a school like this are thought to be trouble. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then you do something like this, and what do you think that proves to those people?
Prove them wrong.
Davison?
Proves that we're better.
Proves that you're better.
Yeah.
Better than people thought.
Yeah.
As for that man who they saved that day, they never saw him again. He thanked them for their help and disappeared from their lives just as suddenly as he had entered.
Have you wondered how he's doing since then? Have you thought about him since then?
Yeah, most definitely.
What do you think the takeaway should be for people across the country who may see this story and see 3 boys, friends, classmates, who helped a stranger?
Be righteous for the people around you.
Love that.
Don't judge a book by its cover.
Don't judge a book by its cover.
It's funny what shared heroism can do to bring 3 friends even closer.
Davison, what do you think about your 2 friends, Clinton and Paul?
I think they're great people. They help me a lot. They help others too. And I'm thankful for that, for bringing their friends.
These are the kinds of stories we need to see. The kinds of stories that bring us together as Americans, highlighting ordinary people doing extraordinary things. You know, people often ask me, David, where do you get your stories from? And I tell them you'd be surprised, but so many of them come to us from viewers like you. So a big shout out to Joan in Iowa, who tipped us off on this story.
Oh, thank you, Joan. It was so great. Be righteous for the people around you, like Paul said. That was so wonderful, David. Thanks so much.
Thank you, David.
And if you at home have a story for David, you can reach him and his team at Dear David at cbsnews.com or contact him directly on